Yeah, the synopsis. This is part 25, I think, of the low level or true low level challenge. And we're about to trigger, the diamond weapon going towards Midgar. And of course, even if you allow him to get as close as possible to Midgar, it doesn't change anything. But yeah, that fight, of course, is very important. And I would actually want every single party member to survive against that fight, and stuff like that, because, you know, and they put the key into the music box. And of course, the diamond weapon fight gives you a lot of AP as well. And the thing is, you would think, for example, that the ultimate weapon would give you even higher AP than diamond weapon does, but it does not. It gives you the same amount of AP. However, then emerald weapon and blue weapon are the ones that gives you the most amount of AP in the game. And that is why you want to make sure when you defeat emerald or weapon that you are using the triple AP weapons. Right, you want to make sure that Claude has Apocalypse, and Sid has Scimitar, and then that you're using Yuffie with Rising Sun. Because with those weapons you can still do a lot of damage and stuff that with limit breaks. And the thing is, normally, right, you want to make sure that Claude has Omni Slash, High Wind on Sid, but then on Yuffie you actually want to use Doom of the Living. The main problem with Doom of the Living hits, like, right, they say that it's 40 times, but that's actually not true, and stuff that, like, people that can't count correctly, and normally it attacks 40 times, whatever, but then the main problem is that it has very, very weak attack power. That even if you slap on Conformer and you do Living, you might think that you're going to do 9,099 damage with an emerald weapon, but that's actually untrue and stuff that, like, even if an enemy is level 99 and you're like lower level and stuff that, you might think the Unge, it's going to do max damage, but it does not. Stuff that you still need strength, make conformity, stuff that's the thing that does matter, right? Yeah, separate the skeleton, and then they move the Miko cannon. It's all the way to Midgar. It's absolutely crazy by because but that's actually what they moved in the quote-unquote dungeon they're playing, or basically the Gallica. That's actually what they moved in the Gallica. It was actually not the huge material that they were moving. Like one of the Gallincas that crashed, those things were actually supposed to be used, I'm thinking, in the actual cloud and stuff that because it was meant to be that the stuff there was meant to be anti-weapon. And if you think about it, the high one limit break being anti-weapon makes sense because it's the most powerful limit break in the game. Yes, high one has the highest power scaling of all the things. That you don't need to have very high power on Sid and still do a lot of damage with high wind. And high wind hits actually the most amount of times. It makes sense because it's a fucking airship that's attacking, and stuff like that, Because you can see that this looks like it's supposed to be the office and stuff like that, You can clearly see that, oh yeah, this is not the same angle, because this is not the office that you see from the actual president, like the, regular, thing. The fact also that his chair is quote-unquote black, but that means that is actually higher up in the Shino building, that the what is supposed to be the roof is not like the highest point in the China building. You can actually go higher up than that. Technically, because you can see that part of the tower still continues up afterwards. So yeah, because now, for example, I believe though if you exit Bone Village, that would also trigger it. That would also trigger the thing to happen. So we don't want to do that. We want to, of course, go and do the thing. But yeah, we have 23,000, so we could actually afford more wizard bracelets and stuff that. But then it's a bit odd with the audio glitch here. Like, I don't know why they have to have the. I mean, I'm pretty certain that the audio could glitch even like in the original game and stuff but it did not happen very often at all, and stuff But yeah. But I think always the main problem is when they port something like, for example, the PS3 version actually of the game did not have the boosters in it, and that version actually ran better than this. But the thing that I feel is the main problem is that if you run with the 3 times speed, for example, and then you don't run with that, then the game lags out afterwards and stuff it's really weird. So why it feels less laggy when you're never running with the 3 times speed and stuff but still, it's. But you can see now that it doesn't trigger yet until we actually get the thing. But keep in mind that we can theoretically also still go to the place. But now it will trigger as soon as I press. You can see that it's even flying off there and stuff but yeah, that triggers it. Oh, you don't get the music because it bugged out. Draw more weapons walking around. Yeah, because they were actually terrorists in the very, very beginning and stuff like you have to think about really how many people like Avalanche actually kill and stuff but yeah. Because not everyone that works for Cine is of course like even like haha we're gonna. Why is it bugging out so much now for? Right, and the thing is not here yet, right? It isn't here already, right? Yet, right? No, not yet. Alright, and this actually triggered it. Good. Actually, technically, we don't need to do that yet. We need to do the equipment first here, so. So yeah, so he's gonna be lowest, so Claude. That's a bit of an issue actually that he's lowest. Yeah, because we don't have Apocalypse yet. So I can only double something. Yeah, that's a bit of an issue. That's a bit of an issue. That's a really big issue actually. You might say, oh, but all is the most important, except no, not really, because the all is gonna be better to have. The question is, do we need ribbon? Because I know that it has a certain status attack that it can do. However, that is if we don't kill it quick enough. Yeah, but yeah, so HP plus, HP plus, HP plus, and then put one Alma to here. Or actually, do we let everyone survive here? Even though that will give them a shit ton of levels. At normal I say we just let one character survive, but this just feels like this is just in order to speed up a certain thing later on and stuff, that's right. But this just will help us speed up things. Anyway, we want to make sure though, however, that we don't want to put all the all materials here, obviously, because we want to make sure that we have all here, and then I have the time, and a barrier. However, we want, who do we put double cut on? The strongest out of the double up weapon. She's actually technically the strongest next to Claude, so she's actually getting the double cut here. Give her the best steel. Joss gets steel here, and he gets steel. Sense goes here instead. Sense goes here instead. She has more health actually, so she gets. No, she gets Magic Plus. And Luck Plus. Actual Hades, actual Neo Bahamut, actual Phoenix, actual Alexander, actual Kuyata. Can we afford Bahamut here? No. Can you afford Bahamut? Can you not get your HP reduced too much? No. You cannot, so that means that Bahamut is -5. That means we cannot use Contain and I would really want to use those though. Enemy skill. Enemy skill, I don't think there's an enemy skill that he has though. But we'll wait. Right, we have already done the UFO side quest call, so you know that doesn't matter. Long range on her. Let's blow Tifa though. throw on her. Morph. No, not. Restore. Like a pro with restore. Boom. So we have 2 characters with restore. Characters with restore. We have 1 restore that we're not using. We have 3 left, 3 tranquilizers left. Yeah, 3 tranquilizers left. We got to use them. And we have steel, and steel. We have 2 sensors. Our magic attacks are 89, 55, and 83. Okay, we have 1 ribbon, 2 ribbons, and circuit, I guess. We need to have it like that. Yeah, but he needs to be the one that survives. You might say then why use Twin Viper and why use Platinum Fist, but we will see. I mean... Oh, I used to use the D-pad and then it's still... And this is the area, by the way, that you abuse when you do the cloud surfing. Like I think it's over here or it's over here where you go and you get off the chocobo and eventually you like fall down here and you go under the water or whatever it is. But yeah. But I believe, right, that if you quote-unquote say, once you leave Midgar, you're able to do it immediately, but I believe, right, that you cannot do it after you skip con, for example, because there is a certain thing that is happening with Chocobo, that, for example, that you haven't gone to con yet, and that you get, basically, you get the Chocobo lure, because of that. Yeah. Right, and we do have the magic ones to cast. Yeah, barrier and barrier. It's running automatically there. Yeah. Steel first. Since we put a barrier. Steal anything. I don't think we can sense it though. I thought if we could or not, let's try actually. Couldn't sense, yeah. Is that just that sense misses? Or is that means that sensing is not possible at all? I think it's once they're over a certain amount of HP, but that makes no sense, right? Because it's 15,000 and 20,000 on the Turks. That was magic barrier though. Here we go, Storm Rising Sun. Hades. here. We're at the bottom. There we go, there's Rising Sun. $100. Alright, so I think you can actually do it once you've done enough damage to the boss. I do have 3 mega elixirs though. Oh, it begins countdown already on East. I thought there was a way to stop the countdown though, there was something that actually deactivates countdown. I think it's actually limit breaking it when it's in countdown status. Actually, so do we... Why didn't I quit cure on him before? Oh, and I'll break the thing. Might just be dead here then. Unless this is a magic attack. Or if we lose another countdown, that is bad, or because we don't have the... Maybe if we had a few high potions here, that would have been good. I'm gonna wait for the clear Tranquilla again, actually. Aqualung. Actually, we need to make sure that we heal her up here. Or is this actually HP dependent? Can Diamond Flash not kill us? I think it cannot kill us actually. Attack is one of those that cannot kill. That's 6% here. But it does 0 damage when you still have step up. Yeah, so maybe you can never sense it. I feel like that isn't that much of a difference really in terms of sense, yeah. I don't think you can ever sense it. Yeah, because theoretically you wouldn't need to cast Mega Elixir here if you would have been fucking smart and equipped fucking... Yeah, you cannot kill with its break. Well, actually, that's going to do 0 damage now, so that. I think Clayton could actually heal us, but maybe. And maybe if Clayton Quill is almost guaranteed to get off, then we can just keep on looping this forever. I thought that there were more summons that we had actually, so that's... I think that is actually because she's silence, yeah. I don't have anything for silence. Is dead. Yeah. So 55,000 and you get 3,500, so that would have been triple. So it would have been 6,000, 6,000 and with about 500, so that would be 7,000. 8, 9, 10,000 luck. So what, 11,000 or something like that? 11,000 luck. That's absolutely crazy. Yes, audio issues. Like, oh, I hate being a speaker. Oh, it's doubling up the audio actually. It senses murder. Because, yeah, that's part because close consciousness, when he quote unquote gave the black material to Sephiroth, that kind of mixed somehow with them and stuff that, you know. So it looks like, oh, the weapon is retreating, but it's not. Fire. So the thing is, next up would be quote unquote ultimate weapon and stuff that we will fight. However, technically we don't need to fight it yet, and it's actually better if we save fighting it until later and stuff that. It's actually way better to fight it later rather than fighting it now. We're of course not going to be doing the skip. Not going to be doing the skip, by the way, the draw skip. Keep in mind that with Liquid's less version of the lowest level possible challenge, we are going to have to do Midgar as well, because the skip count is being a glitch and stuff like that. You might say, oh, but someone could have done it on mistake. Well, not really, right, unless they were holding those sections on purposes, but yeah. Basically, each of the flaps they offer each of the reactors cause each of the number of reactors. Except it's not the correct amount of flaps, or whatever, because you only see, right, you know. And he counters with Diamond Flash. And he's more lift. I hope they don't make Barrett that stupid, because that just feels like, you know, it's like, I mean, I understand why they did. Oh, he look at the perfect cell, because he has that pattern underneath that cell has. Fuck, Kamehameha. Midgar used load up the Kamehameha, okay. So imagine if Dragon Ball did a parody of Final Fantasy VII, but with the Dragon Ball characters, then it was the giant cell and stuff that, like, it was the, like, you know, what do they call it in that movie? I haven't actually seen that movie, the one that, you know, that Dragon Ball, like the heroes, right? That's a Dragon Ball superhero movie and stuff like that, you know. No. Because, yeah. Yeah, and then he hits, of course, here, boom, 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 because it's the Diamond Flash. But then when you see, for example, where it hits on the Sinra building, you can clearly see that this is not the same Sinra office, technically. You might say, oh, that the platform up there is quote-unquote, because it doesn't look like it's exactly the same as the one that, because I basically always thought that when you're outside and, for example, you can look clearly that there is something that goes extra high up and stuff that in the China building, because it makes no sense that why specifically is it 70 floors, right, you know, or, you know. We did end up using a lot of megalixirs, which we probably didn't need to. But yeah, we got a bunch of AP for double cut. We got a bunch of AP of steel, Black Buses level 2, Magic Buses level 2. That is almost at the 4th level now. Hades got a bunch. Yeah. We are very close and got to 4 stars there. HP Plus, one of them became a second HP Plus level. And yeah, all of these are close there. And we're now at 6 is too slow. We're now Still only have access to the barrier though, but still, you know. Right, and back to Heaven's Claw, back to Oritsuru, and back to Cold Sand. Oh, wait. Rising Sun. Yeah. And then there's no point in keeping the twin wipe because as you can see the Rising Sun is just better. However, it's just 68. Which always felt like very weird. I don't remember it being that low. Did it get nerfed actually? I don't remember Rising Sun ever being like 68 and stuff like that. Or is that the same as the Avalanche is for... Wait, let me check something. Because Vince or him, he gets... Yeah, he gets 62 with Javelin. 62 with Javelin. So you get 68, so it's still stronger than the Javelin is in terms of double AP. But if you look for triple, for example, that's 86. I definitely think that something like 86 or similar to what Claude gets with like Apocalypse and stuff that would have been more accurate. But yeah. So now lowest is now going to be, of course we can't use her. She's 35, so she's too high level. But then we cannot use her. She's level 34. And all of these are 33. So the question is, who is the lowest out of these? Like, who is the furthest away? So he's 7,472. He's very close, so we take him first. 1,320. He's actually closest. It's weird. Who actually closest hits it is 2,865 XP away from leveling up to 34. And second highest is the Fear, a 13 with 3,033. Then Seed at 4,320. And then we have Vincent at 4,964. And Barrett is the furthest away. So we need Barrett and we need to pay. And Claude is of course closest out of them. Yeah, Claude is closest. And yes, we need Buntline on him. We need Drill Arm on him. And we need Rune Blade on him. And actually, let's go inside here. I'd say that once Sid has their triple AP weapon, there's no point in keeping like the double AP weapon and stuff that, and that's can be you know discussed. But yeah. Of course, there's no reason though to keep the Twin Viper on Yuffie. There's absolutely no reason to though. So Heaven's Glory is worth 1, yeah. Micro Laser is worth a lot though, 6,000. Spirit Lens is worth 1. Twin Viper, however, is worth 1,600, so we can sell that. So we cannot sell, of course, really. Outside is worth 1 as well, so Offerings are only worth 1. Steelers is only worth 1. And we're showing you that. Seconding is worth quite a bit, but yeah. So we could get rid of that, of course. We could get rid of Javelin if we really want to, but nah, I'm gonna keep it. You know. So this is the setup that we need, unless of course we get a bunch more of the other thing. But yeah, we could also quote unquote almost go and pick up Ultima at this point. Because we see of course that she goes up into the tower, and the tower is actually part of this specific building here. But then the question is, where would they sleep, you know, and stuff like that, you know. Unless it's used that it's something hidden here that there's like an extra part of it. Or that quote unquote we don't get to see the house they actually live in here, that maybe commerce actually bigger than this. Stuff like that there are way more houses. Because there are houses here of course. One house here, two houses here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and none of those houses you can go into, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But it could also be that it's this tower that she checks from and not this specific one. But you can see that that tower has that opening there. As you can see, you know, it kind of looks like a keep, kind of. Okay, now that we've done that, and for example, if we go back here now, lots more weapons here, and he's just, you know, he's actually sleeping is what he's actually doing. Meditating, I guess we can call it, yeah. And of course, if you quote unquote go and fight him now, for example, let's say you would go and fight him, if you quote unquote go and fight him, you want to be using like very, very powerful stuff, of course, against him and stuff that, you know. Which means, for example, contain is very important, combat is very important, and stuff that. But yeah, but let's actually go to the north here. Actually, not yet. Go back into Khan because I forgot to do the thing in Khan. I mean, technically we don't need that, man. We don't need 99 again, at least. Right. 20? Yeah, 20 is enough, I think. It would be enough. So, yeah. Right, so for example, like killing off the party members against like diamond weapon is it's not easy to do. The main problem there, as you saw there on diamond weapon, was yes, we used up a bunch of the mega elixir and stuff like that, but yeah, I mean theoretically you don't need to and stuff like that, but yeah, I'm pretty certain that is what they call sneak drift and stuff like that, you know, that's actually what's going on and stuff like that, but yeah, the energy barrier is gone. Oh. But you cannot reach the president, of course, if they think that the president is dead, of course. And of course, in Advent Zero, of course, it shows you that the president did indeed survive and stuff like that, you know. And actually, the Dial of Kerberos actually takes place after Advent Zero and stuff like that, you know. This is also something that makes the Dial of Kerberos very interesting because of that. Stuff like that. Because I do think that this do have some Yankee games and stuff like that, you know, like I actually really like the Breath of Fire on that one, because that Breath of Fire game completely felt very, very different from everything else. Because it was more like it was a dark science fiction world. I mean, like science fiction has always been a thing in FFVII games, or at least in 3 and stuff like that, because there were also quote-unquote super enemies inside there, because there's one place where first time you get there, you're probably not going to have a chance against the quote-unquote enemies there, stuff that, you know. Yeah, because the Mako needs to go somewhere. You cannot just shut the valve and stuff that, you know, and then it becomes an explosion that becomes stronger than the 61 like explosion. You can very clearly see that the suit that Reeve is wearing is very, very close to the suit or the color of it. That, I mean, technically it's more dark blue, the color that the Turks are wearing. But I wonder if it says anywhere if Reeve is supposed to be from a Turk or whatever, you know. And of course, Reeve's son is being sensed. God, son, God. We have everything though. So I think we do have everything, I think. Let's fucking go. See, the thing is, if you think about all the locations that were missing in Midgar, for example, like you didn't even go to Rocket Town and stuff like that. And also, when you look at the way the map looks, it looks like Rocket Town is nowhere to be seen at all. So how are they going to explain where this Rocket Town will be located? Is it going to be located in? Is it going to be a Rocket Town area where the islands are, where for example, like the Temple of Ancient supposedly used to be? So we're gonna end up with Barrett and Vincent, of course, in a party because, you know, they're furthest away. Now, of course, on the Turks fight, I'm pretty certain on the Turks fight that we will be able to set up the materia in a good enough way. But of course, the hard thing about, of course, you know, but you can see that you're going into the same sector as you got off the bombing the first reactor. But you can see here how close you are to where the cannon is. The cannon is just over there, basically the part where you climb up is on the other side of there. So then it looks like, but why, you know? It never made any sense. Yeah. So he's, you know, technically it's Barrett is the furthest away. Level. Barrett is the furthest away, so it's Barrett that needs to survive. So we can put outside in Heaven's Claude and Claude. You know what? I think we actually go with Toughen on Barrett. Yeah. Because it's gonna be him that steals all the XP here and stuff like that, you know. What a cute little parachute. This mod is actually pretty cool. It feels almost like a little bit to break. I see it only shows up on that screen, right? Yeah, now he's just going with it. And then you can go back here and then it's just like... I kind of wish you had special encounters on this screen. Because this screen is so fucking cool that shows you that you can have like really cool fucking camera angles, you know, stuff like that. Yeah. then get bomb information. But then he needs FFVII, FFVIII. He needs the gets it is the closest. He is the second closest, and then he is third. But yeah. We'll do one more recording after this, maybe. We're not going to see. Because the main problem, of course, against we use letting one character survive against that weapon is either you have to have like way more powerful material at that point. But you know, the thing is, the rocket you can get that material, but then we would have to get the material on the train. But this is not go throughable yet, right? Or it is actually. Actually, let's do this first because this is actually very important to do here while you can, because you might forget about this. That's an elixir, that's very nice. I think also there's something back here, yeah. Yeah, these are actually the most common that people actually miss and stuff, that those two specifically. The clicky those treasures are completely missable, by the way. Yeah. I thought that there should have been like trophies for like picking up all the treasure chests. Because there are definitely treasure chests that people miss. Stuff that like people don't know. Because here's the thing, right? This is supposed to actually be a hole here. Using it because you can see some orange thing on it, you know, and stuff that like here. So that there's an actual hole here. But it is really hard to tell, and you have to realize that yes, this is gonna HD-fy a little bit, but yeah, it's, you know. And then it's so weird because it looks like that, oh, that is the platform that you're supposed to land on and then climb up. No, but the actual... You fucking retarded piece of shit controller. You fucking piece of shit. It was automatically pressing up there after I was pressing down because, you know. And I'm pretty certain you can fix the stick drift because you basically open up the controller. And so that, but opening up the controller is not the easiest thing in the world. And then basically like you lose your warranty of the controller if you can't pick it open and stuff like that, yeah. It's very annoying. Because I imagine right that sometimes maybe certain things get ruined in certain other games when I'm using this and I'm not even thinking about it. Because think about that in the driving game, if they actually, because I'm pretty certain that is what makes certain races hard, because it's constantly, sometimes it's pulling the car to the left, just very aggressively to the left. Like that I would put like full force to like drive to the left, you know, stuff like that, because yeah. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes to the left, you know. So that is Aegis Omelette, which is of course very good defense-wise. Magic defense-wise rather. It has that whole 50% magic defense, and then it actually matches Seabridge regular defense percent. Stuff that, so Aegis is very good. Which of course gives him 182 magic defense with that, with Aegis Omelette. But Aegis Omelette of course has very, very few slots on it. However, Aegis might be more... Aegis I feel makes more sense to use on Immo actually and stuff like that, because yeah, Aegis Omelette is also very, very good magic stat-wise. And also that they should have made it so that you can get more than one Aegis Omelette. That's the thing, I also used to think that this was supposed to be something here as well. That way you could go through here or something like that, you know. Or it would be an extra treasure there or something like that, but yeah. Yeah, you can guess what that was. Going back there all the time, that was not me pressing in that direction. That was again the controller and stuff like that. You can see there, that's the path where you want to go. Save that, because that leads to the thing. But if you go to the right there, yeah, you cannot, but you need to actually go that way, because otherwise you cannot go down. You need to jump here, and then that needs to happen, so you can go this way. Or can you go down into the pipe? Is the pipe an entrance? Why do I always think that pipe used to be an entrance? And keep in mind, theoretically, the Turks only shows up when you go to the north, I believe it is. So if you go to the south, actually, you can avoid fighting the Turks, I think. Yes, you can skip the Turks fight also, by the way, something you can do. Right, and we have to see a bit of chess. Although we only have one of the other thing. The tough ring. Up over here. We get our Starlight Megaphone is one of the things, and we get an elixir as well. Starlight Phone. It went up there to something else there, it went up to the throw command, whatever. Not the throw command, but it did go to another thing. I think it went into the, because the high one was high up. Whatever. So it went into something else there. I forgot to do, we need to go that other path down there. But yeah, we need to go the other path in order to reach that. And that's the final thing that you actually pick up here before, you know, the thing. You get the maximum ray, which you almost might say could have been his quote-unquote ultimate weapon and stuff like that, because it's just very, very high in damage. And then yeah, you scam here, but there's no path there to the left or to the right, rather. There's nothing over there. So max ray or maximum ray, if you can call it, is quote unquote. It's very powerful. 97 and 98 here. And so that, and I always thought that the max rating was supposed to almost be remind him a lot of the like the Gatling gun and stuff like that. It was pressing it very well. And when it goes automatically like that, that was again part of stick drift. I don't know, sometimes, you know, sometimes there is no stick drift at all, but sometimes there's a lot of it, right, and stuff like that, and you know. It just gets very, very hard up there. So that's everything. We're actually going to call it a day here. And yeah, of course, if we would have recorded full that one time when we only recorded 20 minutes, then yes, we probably could have done the Turks encounter as well and stuff like that. But yeah, so you know, so next time we're going to fight the Turks. We're going to go also and pick up everything where we can pick up in the China building and stuff like that, you know. I don't really have to do the preparation of what we equip. I might actually equip Starlight Phone already, actually. Yeah, Starlight Phone. Because again, it's an 8-slot weapon. For him, it's a very powerful one. Because it actually has very good melee stat. But anyway, I see you all